So today I have with me Robert Wong and Chris Burres of SES Research. Just kind of do a little interview, get to know them a little bit better, know what makes them tick, talk about the company, and dive right in. So first, let's go ahead and get started. If I could get you each to introduce yourself, and let's talk a little bit about history.
I'm Robert Wong, born and raised in Houston, Texas. I met Chris when he came down from Ohio. To college at University of Houston. Met him in the physics class.
Yeah, Dr. Weinstein. I remember, that guy was destined to be a physics teacher. His name was Weinstein.
The other physics teacher, the Asian guy, I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah.
But that's the time we were supposed to build the super collider up in Dallas area back in the 80.
Long time ago.
87, 84, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's how we met back 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And so that kind of been friends forever.
Yeah.
I was mobile. I used to be doing mobile disc jockeying, so I put myself to college.
So he comes from an entrepreneurial background, right? So your dad owned a grocery store.
Yep.
And then was a mobile DJ at the time. I remember going to one of your parties. And I think you tried to hire me to be a bouncer.
Oh yeah. I was involved in a nightclub at one time too. Me and my sister got involved in a nightclub, karaoke singing, which I don't sing.
But does a good job DJing. My name's Chris Burres. My dad was in the Air Force. I moved every 2 years. I ended up coming to Houston to go to the University of Houston as soon as I graduated from high school from up in Ohio. And my dad was in the Air Force, so moving every 2 years. I had kind of a disrupted childhood and always dreamed of being an entrepreneur. From the very beginning. In fact, I went to be an engineer because it was a fast path to revenue, so I could invest in a company and get a company started. So when Rob at the time was working for Texas, you can talk about that. You were working for the Texas Center for Superconductivity at the time.
Yeah, or TUCSA for short. Under Paul Chu's leadership, he developed a superconductor material, and so a friend of mine's asked me to come over to the lab and help them to make carbon 60 for our professor. So
this is like 89 maybe?
89.
Yeah.
So I was making carbon 60 at the lab at University of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And how we figured out how to make carbon 60 is that we went over to Rice University.
Well, I like the part where you're like, so how much was it selling for per gram at the time?
$6,000 a gram. A gram
$6,000
is a sugar bag. $6,000, and get that in context, is 28 grams in an ounce. Ounce of gold back in the early 90s, maybe $300, $400, and this was $6,000 a gram.
Right.
Times 28 makes an ounce.
So your entrepreneurial nature, and I remember you actually said, look, I was looking at the numbers, $6,000 for a gram. That's how much my dad, who owned a convenience store, paid for a refrigerator. We need to figure this out and try it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought about it before Chris was involved. So me and my best friend in Diego, which is still friends.
Yeah.
We talked about it. 2 days later, our professor came in and said, "Hey, why a couple of young guys like you start a business making this material?" I go, "Okay, why not?" So with the backing of my professor in TUCSA,
really kind of moral support.
Moral
right?
support.
Yeah.
Moral support. And so we started building a business plan. At the same time, we went over to Rice University and talked to a couple of Richard Smalley, the Nobel Prize winner.
Yeah.
Talked to some of his postdocs then, and asked the question: if you were to build a fullerene reactor, how would you build it? Today, how do you change it around? So they gave some sketch, and then we said, okay, these are the guys who found the carbon 60.
Yep.
I mean, they built the first reactor. They discovered carbon 60 at the Rice University lab, and so these guys know what they're talking about.
So we ended up kind of building it that way.
Yeah. So at that point, that's when I asked Chris, "Hey, Chris, can you help me design this reactor since you are an engineer? You know how to use the software and how to do CAD." So that's why I asked Chris to come in and help me and Diego build this reactor. And so Chris came in, started designing a reactor.
By the way, I was supposed to go away after I helped them design it.
Yeah. So, yeah, but my best friend Diego decided that he had other interests to pursue, and so me, Chris, stuck it out and built our reactor, designed a reactor.
Yep.
Basically, built our first reactor at my dad's garage.